Hi guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are going to discuss the current state of Bitcoin, we are going to look at potential trade setups on Bitcoin, and we will also be going over my analysis for the Ethereum price and also be looking for some potential trade setups on Ethereum. But first of all, Bitcoin, because we can see that Bitcoin, after sweeping the range highs twice, once and then twice over here, we can see we have now also swept the range lows twice. Once over here, and yesterday we had seen another sweep of the range low over here. After the sweep of the range low, we are seeing a little bit of a bounce to the upside. Now, in today's video, we are going to discuss if the bottom is in already, and if we can continue our way to the upside, or if we might see another move to the downside. Now, first of all, we can see that on a 1 hourly time frame, it looks like potentially Bitcoin is looking at some kind of a sweep of the low over here, followed by a potential break of structure over here. So on the 15-minute time frame, we can get a little bit of a better view. As you can see, some might say that the bottom is in and that we are seeing a market structure shift to the upside, in which we have seen a little bit of sell-side liquidity being generated below this low, where we also have a little bit of an unfilled imbalance. As you can see on the 1 hourly time frame, we can get a little bit of a clearer view of this imbalance over here. So you might say that we could be looking for potential entry points around this level and maybe even below this low to get a little bit of a sweep of this low before continuation to the upside. Most sense would be to find support over here, pump it to the upside, or you get a sweep of this low and then pump to the upside. But I'm still a little bit careful, I'm still a little bit cautious, because probably quite some people will be looking at some kind of a setup like this. And yes, it makes sense, to be very fair. But on the other hand, I've also been noticing lately that usually the first market structure shift after a significant move to the downside or upside could be a trap for people to FOMO into longs, to open long and buy positions in which they put their stops below the low over here. Now that means that everyone is looking at the same kind of setup over here. Everyone is putting their stop at the exact same place over here. Now they're either going to put their stop over there, or they're going to put their stop over here below this low. And that is why I'm saying that this might be a scenario as well. But what would make even more sense to me maybe is to get a sweep of this sell-side liquidity over here. And I will explain to you guys why. If we go onto the 1 hourly time frame, and if we are going to take the fixed range volume profile of Wednesday over here, and we're going to drag it all the way towards Wednesday evening, I need to extend it 1 hour to the right, we can see that over here, a little lower compared to the sell-side liquidity, we have this untapped naked point of control and this untapped value area low of this impulsive day to the upside. Now, on top of that, we can also see that on the 1 hourly time frame, if I'm just swiftly going to remove the fixed range volume profile, this is where the Bitcoin price was finding its first proper hiccup during this entire impulse upwards. And that is saying something about the price action. It means there was definitely something going on there. So I also wouldn't be surprised that we are going to take out those early longs, that we are going to tap this liquidity below this low, in which we tap into that naked point of control, we tap into this support area that we have generated over here, and then we might see a bounce from there. This is definitely a scenario that I'm watching. So we could see a sweep and then see a pump to the upside. Why? Because we know that below the range lows, we have generated a lot of liquidity, right? So below this low, below this low, below these lows over here, a lot of liquidity was being generated. Now some people are saying accumulation, manipulation, expansion. In my opinion, this week over here isn't enough to fill all of the orders, all of the liquidity that was resting below the range low. We need a proper move to the downside. We need time for the market makers to fill their orders before they are going to potentially reverse it back up. Now, once again, I'm not saying that this cannot play out, right? I'm just saying that personally, I'm leaning a little bit more towards one last sweep, in which that last sweep would also create a 3-drive pattern on the lower time frames, right? In which we have seen our first sweep of the low over here, and we can see our second sweep, so the third drive into the support, into the liquidity over there. And this is something I'm potentially watching. Now, one more time, yes, we can also just get a little bit of a pullback over here, find support. If I see that we find support on lower time frame, we can still long it, or we may just sweep the low over here and then bounce it to the upside. And these are all scenarios that I'm potentially watching. It all requires patience, but we can definitely see that the drawn liquidity to the upside has been generated over here, with all of these lower highs constantly building up liquidity for the Bitcoin price. Okay, so that is it, what I'm watching currently for Bitcoin. Still not looking for shorts. Why am I not looking for shorts? Because within this imbalance over here, everyone will be looking for shorts, which means that we could see a trigger for a squeeze to the upside. Just like everyone was looking to short this move, I told you guys, don't short it. There's lots of liquidity resting above this high, and we did indeed take it out. You can watch it back in the previous YouTube videos or my updates on Twitter. Now, let's move over to Ethereum, because Ethereum is looking a little different compared to Bitcoin. It is holding on a little stronger compared to Bitcoin, but I'm also not really liking this particular structure over here for the Ethereum price. Okay, why? We have this huge liquidity buildup with all of these high lows that we are forming over here. So people are constantly placing their stops below these higher lows over here, which is building up massive amounts of liquidity. Now, we did see a nice bounce, right? We did sweep this sell side liquidity over here. We tapped into this OB over here, and we did see a very nice bounce, right? I think this is really clean price action. We did not really put in any strong break of structure, but we did form that higher low and pumped it to the upside again. But I think there's still quite some liquidity resting below this low, which means there's also still quite some liquidity resting below this low. Now, something that we could be watching, right, is that maybe Ethereum forms a lower low, while Bitcoin at the same time will form a higher low, which will put in an SMT divergence. It could also be the other way around, right, in which Ethereum forms a higher low and Bitcoin will form a lower low. Only thing I'm not liking about that is the fact that Ethereum has just such this big drawn liquidity to the downside, and Bitcoin has swept most of the liquidity already. So what could be occurring today is that Ethereum will form a lower low while Bitcoin is forming a higher low, in which if we then get that break of structure on the lower time frame, that would mean that we have a free long position to the upside. And that is definitely something that I'm watching. Now, where could Ethereum potentially find support? I think below this low over here, there's still some liquidity resting. Why? Because people will think they will outsmart the market makers. They think here we have an equal low. Well, let me be smart. Let me put it one low beneath it. What will happen is they will build up a lot of liquidity below this low, in which below that low, we have this untapped OB on Ethereum, this untapped demand area. So it would not be surprise me if we sweep all of the liquidity, find support over here. If we then see some low time frame shifts in structures, that would be a nice long position. But currently, I'm not too fussed yet on looking for longs on Ethereum unless we sweep all of the liquidity below these lows over here. So a little similar to compared to Bitcoin, but as soon as we start forming SMT divergences, right, that will be the moment for me where I will start looking for longs, even though Bitcoin might not have that manipulation area yet. But until Bitcoin does, I'm not too interested yet in longs unless we get the right confirmations with some SMT divergences, with some low time frame break of structures, and then I will engage with some longs. Same for Ethereum. The liquidity buildup to the upside is definitely there. I'm not looking to short this area unless I get very strong confirmation on a 50-minute or 1-hourly time frame, because everyone is looking for the same short positions. Now, if you guys do have any questions after watching this YouTube update, please let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to smash up the like button. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I came home last night at 2:30 back from my visa. Still woke up early, recorded this update for you guys. I hope you guys appreciate it. Smash up the like button, and I'll see you guys on Friday's video. Ciao, ciao.